the Do You Have It with Kim and Alexandria Bolufe. We had a great week, and we have a real special show for you today, and I'm very excited. And we have Brian Howie with us again, Mr. CEO that I styled. Come on, tell us about your experience.
Did you style me? So I had what most of your clients had. I had a fashion emergency, I guess you call it. I said, Kim, I need to go to Polo in Greenwich, Connecticut, and I need the outfit.
And I fly out tonight.
And I fly out tonight. So I stopped by, I got the outfit, and I mean, I haven't always dressed so, I guess, lazily, but I have never gotten more compliments, reactions to not only what I was wearing, but how it sort of changed the way I carried myself. I did not take that jacket off. I still have not taken the jeans off. It's like 5 days later. The whole time. Like I not only did I wear it to Polo, I wore the clothes in New York City for meetings the next day. And it worked the way you told me it would. And obviously I'm always going to be skeptical. I'm going to be, and this is more of a endorsement of you. I don't want to sound like an infomercial on this, but it really did make a difference just in the comfort and the fit and the reaction. Like you, I mean, you made definitely a fan out of me and a fan out of a lot of people who saw what I was wearing. So
we love
I instantly sent you a picture. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. When I saw that picture, I said, who is this handsome man?
He's finally all grown up. Yeah. It just did. Like I don't even know how to describe that the jacket other than I want 4 more, and I shouldn't have to wear any clothing anymore that are not Bolufe. And it's, I'm wearing the jeans out here now. It's 105 degrees, but they feel fantastic. Like
they're lightweight.
They are lightweight. It makes such a difference, and you can wear them again, and they don't lose their shape right away,
yes.
like a lot of jeans do. Even really expensive jeans, you kind of have to wash them all the time. And these, they're giving me the butt I didn't know I had.
Well, the thing is, it has like a memory to that denim because of the new technology of jeans today. And I was the denim queen. All over South Florida, I've carried every brand jean. And when I found this jean, I knew that this is the only jean that I should be carrying. So not only is it lightweight, it's 7 ounces, 9 ounces. The back is 2 inches higher than the front. So when you sit, nothing is exposed. And it's a super stretch, and it forms to your body. But here's the most important thing. You trusted me. Of course you're going to be skeptical. You're an intelligent man, CEO, entrepreneur. Of course you're going to be skeptical, and it's
used
okay.
To dressing a certain way.
But
you're used to dressing a certain way, and you're used to having people saying, you should wear this, you should wear this. And, this has been sort of a slow buildup between us over the process of it. And the whole time I was just thinking, she was right. She was right. And the way it made me feel. And I just felt better about it. And, not to jump around, but so then I was in New York City, and I was in the garment district. And I thought about you, and I had questions like, what was your experience? When were you there? And what was your experience? Because it's just a world of chaos and fabric in that sort of 10 square block area.
It's true. It is a world of chaos and fabric and thousands of people, and it is something that you have to have instinctually the passion for. Because when you walk through the fashion industry of New York, and there are so many choices, fabrics, textures, styles, department stores, boutiques, designers, sewing manufacturers. You just have to have that instinct, and sometimes you're born with it. Sometimes you could be trained. You can have a trained eye. But if you have both, of course, it's going to make you more successful. So, for instance, it's just the same as going into, say, Vegas. You have thousands of vendors. Who do I choose to be the next big designer, manufacturer of the Bolufe menswear. So how do I know? We walk through the convention hall, we look at the fabrics, and I would say, Alexandria, right, in moments, in seconds, I will know just by the way it feels, if it's breathable, and if the designer is going to listen to me, where your jacket, Brian, as we mentioned before, has extended shoulders, a quarter of an inch on each side, slightly tapered waist, and that's what makes you look so contemporary. And I'm so happy that you did trust me. Of course, again, I want to say I can understand why you would be skeptical. Intelligent, CEO, of course, you're in charge of your own destiny, right? So you're going to trust me, someone you don't know. I tell you, by wearing this jacket, it is going to change your confidence level. It's going to enhance it.
It did. What you really did was you raised the ceiling on the possibilities, because I'm like, I'm fine. I'm having a certain amount of success. I get away with wearing this clothing. And by raising the ceiling on both how I looked and how I felt, you opened up a whole nother range of emotions and possibilities and reactions that I did not know were possible, or I have forgotten because it's been so long.
It was an awakening.
Yes, and this is why I style the celebrities on those reality shows and the owners of Netflix and all these business shows. We don't do trendy clothing for just a streetwear crowd. I style
Or a Miami crowd.
Yeah, we style men like you, like the co-owners of Netflix, the ones that are on those big shows like Elevator Pitch, where they have to look like they're successful. You have it on the inside. Now you have it on the outside.
Well, so you had it on the inside. So going back to that time for you, you were confident that you had it and you could make it in this brutal business. Mm-hmm. Was there somebody who validated your own confidence? Was there a moment? Was there an instance that you're like, I think I'm going to be okay in this business? Because it's obviously any business or any career choice is going to be filled with self-doubt. Was there one circumstance, one encounter that you're like, this was a turning point for you?
I won't say that there was one turning point. It is, let's see. You know, I don't know if I told you this story before. A lot of people do know it. It's written that I had a little $10 table that I bought from a discount store similar to Home Depot. I was just a teenager. I didn't have anything other than $267. I took that and I purchased raw materials and a tablecloth for my table, and I knew how to situate myself right in front of the subway station in New York City near the fashion industry. And by doing that, I knew people had to go up the subway station and go down, and I would have default traffic. That very first day, that $267 doubled. The next day it tripled. And little by little, that is what gave me the confidence more than just one single person.
So you had success right away.
Immediately.
She bet on herself.
Yes.
What were you selling? What was the fabric? Was it just fabric? What were you selling?
Even though my background at that time, again, since I was in the sewing factories at 10 and a half, and that was because I begged my mom. And then she saw how good I was. But next to the subway station, as we all know, anyone that visits Bolufe today, my accessory collection is enormous and substantial. So I started off with buying raw materials made of freshwater pearls, all types of natural substances, rocks, marbles from the earth. And somehow I would look at it and I would know how to put it together and make it into a magnificent piece of art. But I would use that 267, sell, double my money, the next day triple my money, the next day quadruple my money, and that's how it all began. So yes, I knew right away that I had an eye.
That's amazing, and good for you. I mean, good for you. Your talent was rewarded, and good for you that it was a Good experience. Do you remember the subway station? Do you ever visit that? Do you ever think about that when you're in New York City?
Yes, I do. And when I go back to New York City from time to time,
She took me there once.
yes, I want Alexandria to see that when I was just a teenage girl, this is how I started off. Now, who do I see there now? I see those same people when I was a teenager. Now, these people have grown much older. They're way older than me now, and they're still standing next to that street by the subway station. So what does that mean? You have to go for your dreams. You have to really believe in yourself that that subway station area was just a stepping stone. It was a stepping stone for a young teenage girl that knew that, okay, I'm going to try it out. When that works, then I move on to the malls. And that's how it begins.
Was that the goal for you early on? I want to get to the malls.
Well, when I was a little girl, I would walk through all the best shopping areas, things that I couldn't afford, things that I couldn't buy. I'd walk through the malls. Everywhere I traveled, Rodeo Drive, in Palm Beach, I would go to Worth Avenue. In Boca, I would go to Town Center Mall. As a young girl, I would look at all the stores, how they were constructed, what they looked like, and I would fantasize and know, and truly know in my gut, that I will have this one day. And because I was so focused and I never stepped out of that path, it's what happened.
Yeah. I've always had an odd fascination and affection for malls. When I go to Asia, the malls in Asia
they're amazing.
They're this cacophony of sound and light and feel. They are on a level that we have malls. We have obviously Aventura Mall down in South Florida. Mm-hmm. You go to the Mall of America, there's a lot of big malls. You go to a mall like the Icon Siam Mall in Bangkok, and there's a level of shopping frenzy and stimuli of the senses that you just want to be there. Like, it just feels lively. And I've always felt that way about malls. Some people don't like them because they don't like crowds. I like it because there's energy in malls. I think people are happy in malls.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
The Asians love to shop.
Yes. But
it's a lot of money.
Yeah, but the real success is when you compare that to that frenzy that you're talking about in the malls. The key is not to have something everyone else has. And there's no value for me anyway to bargain with a customer because the guy next door might have the same product for less. So the key to our success is to have custom-made designer goods made for Bolufe. We travel to Italy. We travel all over Paris. We get the jeans from Germany. And what we do is we ourselves have designed a look. It's the Bolufe look. It's the look that everyone that books an appointment with me that flies in from all over to get that look that you cannot get in just any store. Look at the outfit you wore. That beautiful shirt with those German jeans and that jacket with that spectacular pocket square. You can't just buy that anywhere. It has to be put together by someone at Bolufe, like Alexandria and myself, and my team, and also the eye for the detail. Look at the buttons that were on your shirt and your jacket. They're all contrasting. So that's not something easy to find. So I wouldn't want to be compared to someone else in the mall that could have the same exact thing. And that's why today, outside of the mall, I've chosen landmarks. Meisner Park, Boca Raton, world-renowned. Atlantic Avenue, Delray Beach, world-renowned. People fly in from all over just to visit, and then they have to make a stop to visit me for at least 2 hours for me to style them.
The location, the environment sort of frames your store, and it really is a good setting for that. So a piece of advice for somebody who had $267 and a dream, your advice is to do something that nobody else is doing, to try and just take a chance on what you believe is right? What advice are you giving a young man or woman who wanted to do something like that?
Well, yes, that is true. Because when I made those beautiful pieces in the very beginning, I didn't have a pattern or a style to follow. It was my own initial, it's what I like. It's what I'm passionate about. And when you're passionate about something, don't ever let someone tell you, nope, it can't be done. I've been told a few times in my life, that's ridiculous. That's ludicrous. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow with my other guests. Because it's not ludicrous and it's not ridiculous. If you have a passion for it and you believe in it, do not let anyone tell you that you can't do it. As long as you stay focused, I am living proof of it can happen. And it can be so successful. But again, how do we measure success? For me, it's not really the money. It's the fulfillment. But when you are passionate and fulfilled, the money does come.
Yeah, no, fulfillment. That's a good word. Alexandria, when did this passion become your passion as well?
I think it's been there all my life because I grew up in the business, but maybe I just suppressed it in my years after college trying to figure out my own thing.
And I didn't want her to do it, remember?
Yeah, she did push me away from it. She's like, don't do it.
And why? Because you get such joy out of it. And I know a lot of parents are like, find your own path and do it. But you are so fulfilled and you make so many people happy. What was it that tried to push her away, and what was it that eventually sort of brought her back in?
Well, I think it was mostly because of it's a very hard lifestyle, as much fun as it can be. Retail hours are rough and you're always working and there's no downtime really. I mean, weekends, holidays, everything. So that like lifestyle factor is a big part of why she didn't want me to be in retail. But then COVID happened, and that's kind of how I came back into the mix. I was like, we need to get online. We need to make a website. People can't come to us, so we need to be accessible to everyone else. So we built a website. We started our Facebook Live shows.
So you didn't have the website, or at least a functional one, prior to COVID?
We had like on and off over the years, but the maintenance of it was just too difficult. With so much, at that time, my mom had more than, how many stores did you have then? Like 5 stores at the time?
Yeah.
So the website was definitely an afterthought. It wasn't a priority.
You want people to come in the store because you want people to have the experience, but COVID sort of forced everybody out of their comfort zone.
Correct. And my first thought was we need to get a website immediately.
That's correct. And having the experience in the store is different than buying a piece here and there on the website. Because let's take you for an example. Let's say you went on my website and you didn't have the experience with us, the Bolufes, right? You're not sure what to pick out. You're blindly picking out something.
Right.
You might even pick out the wrong size.
And you probably wouldn't have picked out that outfit you chose.
Because it was pink.
There's a lot of there's a lot of companies online now that were like, okay, we will, put an outfit for you in a box and send it to you ready to go. They don't know me, and they're not gauging my personality. They're getting the information that I know about myself, but I don't know myself well enough to take a chance or to put something on they would normally wear. And that is the value of you guys.
Those boxes are usually very cookie cutter. Like everyone will get the same box.
That's right. But then when you meet Brian, right? So here's an example. You hear how he talks and how he's a networker and how he enjoys conversation and he's outgoing. He definitely has it on the inside. So now we're going to match the clothes to what he has on the inside. And how do we know that Brian is going to like pink? How will we know that he would wear a white pair of jeans and a jacket with a colorful pocket square? You just know. And he trusts us. Because, again, if you don't look good and you don't get compliments, we certainly don't look good. This is experience.
Yeah, and you also warned me what not to wear. You said, if you're going to wear that, do not wear white shoes with that. And I threw my white shoes away.
She made him promise not to wear the white shoes with that outfit.
That's right. I made him promise. Right. I said, well, what about your shoes? Because he bought midnight blue jeans, spectacular pink shirt with blue contrast and a gorgeous blue-gray jacket with the pink pocket square. He says, okay, can I wear white shoes? Oh. No.
She not only was it a no, it was such a no of horror that not only did I not wear those white shoes, I returned my rental car at Hertz, and there's now a pair of white shoes in the dumpster outside of Hertz. I didn't even want to be tempted because her reaction was so horrified. I threw the shoes in the dumpster at Hertz Fort Lauderdale Airport. So.
Is that a true story, or are you joking?
That is a true story. You frightened me out of any temptation of making a mistake. I so did not want to let you down, and I didn't want to forget and just accidentally put them on. And then
she sees the picture and she's like horrified.
And the tears and the disappoint. I didn't want to disappoint you, and so I literally threw the shoes away.
That was funny.
That was funny, but that picture you sent. With the outfit on is truly, even though you say slowly but surely, I'm taking you outside of your box, increments at a time. No, that was pretty drastic and extremely modern, and really, it fits your look, your personality, for real.
Yeah, it does. And it reminded me of a time when I was a little younger in my early Hollywood days, where I used to care a little more, and it was a nice feeling again. What is the Bolufe vision for 10 years from now? Do you have that? You've sometimes had more stores, less stores, more customers, less. Do you have a plan that you're trying to achieve?
Well, today, as we know, not more is better. Sometimes less is better. Of course, I've had many stores simultaneously, and in those days, it wasn't the .com days yet. So the only way people could really shop and have beautiful, constant wardrobe is to go shopping. Today, it's changed. But all this .com on the internet, a lot of it is goods that are discounted, which you really don't know what you're getting, and
also not good quality is what she's trying to say. It's all cheap garbage in terms of quality.
Yeah. And you don't know how to put it together. So it's really a certain customer that likes to buy online that isn't so quality conscious. The customer that wants to have a wardrobe custom just for them will have to come in to see us for the first time. Then after that, they get the hang of it, and we teach them just to shop on the website or send me a photo. Kim, do these white shoes go with this midnight blue pants? And I'll tell you,
no,
yes, no.
Not.
And a lot of our online website is like customers who have shopped in the store several times and had styling appointments with Kim, and then they get the hang of how to put the outfits together, and then they shop online, especially because we have a lot of snowbirds who don't live here.
And they watch the live show.
And that shows them how to style it.
The live show is not a selling show, even though everything is linked to it. The live show is a styling show. So when I do a men's show, like when I did a show with you on it, I was showing the world, this is how you dress a CEO and how you match everything. So you're asking me a question about the future. It's not that I plan from year to year what we're going to carry, because this is instinctual for me. Have I been able to pivot? Have I been able to evolve and go with the times? Absolutely. And that's another key factor in this business. You cannot stay the same. If you stay the same, and we're in business for 30 years now, and if I was still selling today what I sold 30 years ago, it would never work. Times change, people change, the world changes, so we change. Yes.
Yeah, you mentioned the jeans I'm wearing are from Germany, and you mentioned the fabrics are from Italy or whatever. Is there some mistake or characteristic that American men tend to make that they could learn? We could all learn something from our European or Asian or South American brethren when it comes to dressing and style?
Yes. Europeans dress very well, and they always dress well. They care.
Like when you go into Milan, even Florence,
they're all dressed
and
to
Rome,
the nines.
wow, puts the American people
To shame.
to shame. You know, this sloppy look, it's okay. Maybe it's the lifestyle, it's a mentality because they see all their friends doing it. But I will tell you, when you walk on the streets of Rome, Milan, Florence, and you see how they are wearing the hat, the necklace, the top, the pants, the shoes, the handbag, the watch, and how they take pride in the way they look and the confidence. That's why their personality is so outgoing, because they don't fear walking right up to a person and say, hello,
They feel good.
bonjour,
They
or,
look good.
You know, yeah, it's a lot easier to approach a woman when you dress like you
Yes.
can be the man. That is true. That's why,
That's true.
especially the Italian men, get away with a lot of things that
Yes.
we probably couldn't get away with. You know, the difference between creepy and a compliment is who's delivering it, and the difference in who's delivering it is how they look delivering it.
True.
I mean, look at the way you looked in that photograph with the jacket and the pink shirt and the midnight blue pants. Anyone you walk up to is immediately going to get the feeling, well, this is a well-dressed man. He looks very successful, and, you know, he doesn't look like a creep. He looks like a man I want to talk to, male or female.
I felt much more confident asking for a late checkout when I was dressed in your clothing. They looked at me like, we want him back at our hotel.
Absolutely.
He deserves the late checkout.
Little things like that. Little things like that. I'm not kidding. Little things like that is how people perceived me. They perceived me as important because I perceived myself as important because of the clothes. It really did make a difference. Like, I don't really know how to explain it any better than that.
I do know what you're saying, though. I always ask for, Go
She
ahead.
always asks for late checkout.
And I make
Always.
sure when I'm asking for it, I'm dressed. I don't want to look like a schlep. Is that the right word?
I don't want to look.
Yeah.
I didn't want the late checkout because I looked hungover. I wanted the late checkout because I looked busy.
Correct.
That's right.
Good business to do.
Yes.
And you brought up the way they still dress. I mean, you look at old pictures, even here in America, going back to the 50s, 60s, 70s, the way that people dressed when they got on an airplane, the way people dressed when they went to theater, the way people dressed when they even went to a baseball game, men wearing hats and suits or whatever. And somewhere along the line in the 80s and 90s, we decided that taking dressing seriously was only for special occasions, and our default was comfort. And, people get on an airplane dressed in hefty bags now. Like, they just don't care. Used to treat it like it was a special occasion.
That's right.
But now with the technology, like my mom was saying, like you can dress for comfort and still look great.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's the thing. That's the mistake I think we made that a lot of us
all
make
went wrong.
is that it has to be a choice. And I was so comfortable the other day. I walked, 7 miles yesterday in Manhattan wearing your clothes. And I didn't think twice. It wasn't like, oh, I can't wait to put on some cargo shorts. It was, I just felt better. And that's a lesson that I just don't think we're told. Like, I just don't think I don't think we hear it in the right way from the right person. And you were the right person. And I was ready to hear what you guys, had to say. And I'm not sure if you caught me, 6 years ago, I would have
been ready. Receptive.
I would have been ready. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. When you walk into now, why did you go other than the polo match? Why else were you?
I was looking for more locations for Pod Populi. First of all, we have one in Greenwich, Connecticut that is opening soon, and then we were looking in New York City for additional studio spaces. And when you walk in and you're looking to do business with somebody, like I just, I didn't want to be in a T-shirt. I didn't want to be in.
They'll take you seriously.
They took me a lot more seriously, and it just made a difference in my entire day. From the time I went to lunch to the time I had meetings, like it just made a difference. And I feel ridiculous that I didn't know this. It seems so simple, but I guess it wasn't.
And, it's never too late, no matter what age. We have customers anywhere. Now, let's say you have a young man, say, in his 30s. If he is able to discover this at an early age, this will change the whole course of how fast he gets to where he wants to get to in his career. If he discovers this, what we're talking about, the it factor, looking like you have the it on the outside, and he's a young man, let's say, or a woman that has it on the inside, but now you have it on the outside, and you start in your 30s, you're going to get to your destination quick. But no matter what age, 30, 40, 50, 60, it's never too late.
I mean, I've had customers who are like in their 70s and all they've worn their whole life is the same style, black and white. And at 70, they're like, you know what? I don't care anymore. I'm going to start wearing color. I moved to Florida. I don't care. I'm going to start wearing color. And then they have so much fun with it. They love it. So It is never too late.
And it does come down to a lot of times, especially for CEOs or men stuck in their ways, it comes down to, what's it going to do for me? The return on investment that you spend. And again, you're not going to go broke buying any of this, but it's an investment in a wardrobe. Mm-hmm. What you will get back in that, not just dollars wise, but in terms of reaction and opportunity and possibilities and all those things, confidence, it's going to trickle down in a lot of ways in your life. I tell a lot of people who are in, what I perceive to be boring jobs, no offense to anybody out there, the bankers, lawyers, whatever, I always say, go take an improv class, because that will trickle down to the aspects of your life in even your business, and you'll be able to see your own career and the surroundings of it in different layers and light. And I think that's a good thing for people to do that, and that's what the wardrobe did for me. It just added some layers that I didn't know existed.
It was your improv class.
That was my improv class.
The wardrobe show was your improv class.
Me going on your Facebook Live show and getting out of my comfort zone and feeling that environment was such an improv class for me. That's a really good example of what that felt like to me. And and it was a lot more fun than you asking me to pretend I'm a tree. It was just really good experience.
And here's the thing I want to say again and repeat. The clothing is not expensive. Again, we are not
designer prices.
Yes, we're not Louis, okay? And we're not Walmart. We are somewhere in between, very reasonable. And Brian is not doing an infomercial for us. He's endorsing how it made him feel and what this did for him. And this is truly what happens to all the customers, male and female. It's not just for men CEO, women CEO.
Or CEOs.
Or any CEO. It's just wanting to look your very best while you represent yourself to the world in any occasion. That's what it is. I represent myself.
You represent yourself to the world. I think that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yes.
You got a pearl for us? Is that the pearl?
The pearl is, again, let's see.
I thought that was good, Pearl, how you ended it. Represent yourself.
Okay.
That's a very good pearl.
That was a good pearl.
Okay. Dressed
to impress.
To impress yourself. You don't need to impress anyone else, but the way people perceive you will either open doors for you or close doors for you. So represent yourself the way you want to be viewed, the way you want to feel to the world. It's very important what you have on the outside, because you definitely have it on the inside. So Alexandria, tell everyone when our show is, where they can find us, and the phone numbers, and about
that's a long list.
Everything that they need to know about us.
You can watch our Facebook Live show every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern at Bolufe Boutique. You can follow us on Instagram at Bolufe Boutique. We have a location in Boca Raton in Meisner Park and a location in Delray Beach on Atlantic Ave.
And our website is
bolufeboutique.com. And don't forget to like, follow, and share.
That's right. If you want to hear more of this and our journey about our lives in the retail fashion world and what it takes to have it, please like, follow, and share. Okay. Show me the love. Mwah. Bye, everyone.